Y'all ready to talk about some equity? I am, so let's do it. First off, let's talk about what equity even is. Okay, as it relates to your home, equity is simply your home's current market value minus whatever you might owe on the property or whatever your mortgage balance is. If you don't have a mortgage balance, then your equity is your home's total market value. So, one thing, notice I said current market value. Your value of your home will fluctuate and go up and down with the times. That's perfectly normal, same as almost like the stock market. Sometimes it can go up, sometimes the value can go down. And the value is typically determined, or not typically in real estate, it is determined by what other buyers are willing to pay for your property. So equity is not a stagnant thing. So if your house was worth 500,000 last year and the market takes a turn, your house might only be worth 400,000 now to a buyer. So equity can go up and down. Let's get into a quick example. And for this example, we're going to assume that you have a mortgage and we're going to freeze time. Because again, equity can go up and down over time. So let's freeze it for this example as we just talk about equity. So say you bought a house for $50,000. You paid $50,000 for it and it was worth $50,000 at the time that you paid. When you bought it, say you put $5,000 down as a down payment and now you owe $45,000. Guess what? Your equity is that $5,000. Good for you. You put some own equity in your own property. Good for you. So you got $5,000 equity. You still owe 45. Say you do nothing at all and market appreciation jumps in or a lot of buyers jump out and they say, hey, we'll actually give you $60,000 for your house. Remember, you only paid $50,000, but the buyers are now saying, we'll give you 60. So now you've got a $60,000 market value. You owe $45,000 and you're left with, boom, $15,000 worth of equity. Nice job. And actually, that kind of thing happened in DFW and a lot of other markets where there were so many buyers in the market, they pushed up the prices and sellers were just enjoying all that appreciation and good equity as they should. So now you're sitting pretty on $15,000 equity. And I know what you're thinking. Well, Juanita, we are headed into the recession and now the values are going to fall. What if my house is now worth $10,000 less? Glad you asked. So if buyers are now saying, oh, you know what? Now we only want to give you $40,000 for your $50,000 house. Okay, so $40,000, you still owe $45,000. Now you're in a negative equity position. Now you have negative $5,000. But again, we're talking about real estate. And so sure, does anybody want negative equity? No. When I look at my stocks and I'm like, I got to wait on it to come back up. I'm in a negative right now. Nobody likes to see it, but we're talking about real estate right now. So here's what I want you to remember, especially as we go through the next 6 months to a year to a couple of years, however long this is going to last. Your equity might go down, and that's okay. Because as long as you have a monthly payment that you can afford, and that's why I always say to buyers, buy the monthly payment and make sure that it's something that you can pay easily, because your value will go up and down, but your monthly payment should stay about the same with only slight increases or decreases due to property taxes and insurance. So say in a market where values come down, your monthly payment might actually go down a little bit because of your taxes might go down. But the real thing is your monthly payment is not affected in most cases by if you have negative equity in your house or not. Real estate is a cyclical market, so it can go up, it can go down, and in most cases, that's exactly what it does. So don't be too panicked if you are in what we call a negative equity position. Make sure you can still pay monthly for your property as you promised when you signed that mortgage, and you'll be able to ride out the wave. And guess what? Every time you make those payments, you are putting more and more equity into your house so that you can probably reverse your negative equity on your own, or when values start to appreciate again, you'll be in even better position, or you will just still be safely inside your home. Okay, so remember, equity is the difference between what you owe on the property and your property's current market value. It can go up and down. That's okay. And matter of fact, right now, they're trying to force it to go down because you can do some cool things with equity. With your positive equity, you can cash that equity out. You can refinance and get your monthly payment even lower. You can take out a loan against your equity, do HELOCs, all kinds of things that you can do with positive equity. Now, you can't cash out negative equity. You can't cash out what you don't have, and that's okay. Just make sure you can keep your monthly payment going, ride out the wave, and you'll be just fine whether your equity is negative or not. The main time that this comes into play is if you have to sell your home maybe before you thought you would. Okay, so that's when that really is going to affect you. But if you're in your home, you're going to be in your home for the next few years or however long, and you can afford that monthly payment, you'll be all right. Okay, so I hope that was educational and at least lets you know what equity is, how it can be used, and don't panic even if you go into the negative on equity sometimes. Okay, all right, talk to y'all later. Any questions, comments, concerns, let me know in the comments.